The serpent is one of the most enigmatic and intriguing characters in the book of Genesis. It's a symbol of mystery, of temptation, and of rebellion. But what secrets is it hiding? What role does it play in the creation story, and what implications does its actions have on our understanding of good and evil? The traditional interpretation of the serpent is that of a deceitful and cunning creature, one that tempts Eve to disobey God's command and eat from the forbidden tree. This interpretation paints the serpent as the ultimate symbol of evil, pitted against the goodness of God. But is this interpretation too simplistic? Does it do justice to the complexity of the serpent's character? In many ancient cultures, the serpent was seen as a symbol of wisdom, of renewal, and of transformation. It was a creature that shed its skin, reborn anew, and this cyclical process was seen as a metaphor for the cycles of life and death. So, what if the serpent in Genesis is not just a symbol of evil, but also a symbol of transformation and change? The serpent's role in the narrative of Genesis also raises questions about the nature of free will and moral responsibility. If the serpent is seen as a tempter, does that mean that Adam and Eve are less responsible for their actions? Or does the serpent's presence simply highlight the complexity of human nature, and the constant struggle between good and evil? In many religious traditions, the serpent is seen as a symbol of the divine, a creature that embodies the power and wisdom of God. So, what if the serpent in Genesis is not just a symbol of evil, but also a symbol of the divine? What if its actions are not just a temptation, but also a test of humanity's faith and obedience? One of the most compelling insights about the serpent's true nature comes from the Gnostic tradition, which sees the serpent as a symbol of spiritual awakening and enlightenment. According to this view, the serpent's actions are not a temptation, but a liberation, freeing humanity from the constraints of ignorance and ignorance. This perspective challenges our traditional understanding of the serpent, and invites us to see it as a symbol of transformation and growth. The serpent's role in Genesis also raises questions about the nature of knowledge and power. If the serpent's actions lead to humanity's expulsion from the Garden of Eden, does that mean that knowledge and power are inherently corrupting? Or does the serpent's presence simply highlight the complexity of human nature, and the constant struggle between good and evil? As we delve deeper into the mysteries of the serpent, we begin to see that its role in Genesis is far more complex and multifaceted than we initially thought. It's a symbol of transformation, of wisdom, of the divine, and of the human condition. It's a reminder that the Bible is a rich and complex text, full of hidden meanings and symbolism waiting to be uncovered. The traditional interpretation of the serpent is often reduced to a simplistic dualism, pitting good against evil. The serpent represents Satan, the embodiment of evil, while God and his creation are synonymous with good. However, such a rigid dichotomy oversimplifies the nuances of the narrative, ignoring the subtleties of the serpent's character and its motivations. One of the primary difficulties in understanding the serpent's role lies in its enigmatic nature. The biblical account provides scarce information about the serpent's origins, motivations, and ultimate fate. This lacuna has given rise to numerous interpretations, from the serpent being a symbol of fertility and rebirth to representing the embodiment of human curiosity and knowledge. Moreover, the battle between the serpent and God can be seen as a metaphor for the eternal conflict between chaos and order, with the serpent embodying the unpredictable forces of nature. This perspective underscores the serpent's agency as a force that disrupts the primordial equilibrium, setting the stage for humanity's emergence. In many ancient cultures, the serpent was an ambivalent symbol, representing both life and death, creation and destruction. This ambiguity finds resonance in the Genesis narrative, where the serpent's actions simultaneously bring about humanity's downfall and empowerment. By embracing this complexity, we can move beyond the simplistic good versus evil dichotomy and appreciate the serpent's multifaceted nature. Historical interpretations of the serpent have ranged from being a symbol of ancient pagan deities to representing the seductive power of sin. Theologians have grappled with the serpent's role, often seeing it as a manifestation of humanity's innate sinfulness. Yet, in attempting to categorize the serpent, we risk diminishing its mystical and mystical dimensions. The serpent's enigmatic nature has captivated theologians, scholars, and artists for centuries. One of the most compelling insights into the serpent's true nature emerges when we consider its role as a threshold figure, bridging the divide between the divine and human realms. This perspective suggests that the serpent's actions were not merely an act of rebellion, but an attempt to transcend the boundaries set by God. This transcendent quality of the serpent's nature is reinforced by its symbolism in various cultures, where it often represents transformation, renewal, and spiritual growth. By embracing this understanding, we can challenge our preconceived notions of the serpent as a one-dimensional villain and instead recognize its complex, multi-dimensional character. Perhaps the serpent's most profound secret lies in its ability to awaken humanity to its full potential, sparking a chain reaction of events that ultimately leads to humanity's redemption. In this sense, the serpent's actions can be seen as a necessary step in the grand narrative of creation, rather than a mere act of disobedience. In conclusion, the serpent in Genesis is a mysterious and enigmatic character, full of secrets and hidden meanings. As we've seen, its role in the creation story is far more complex than we initially thought, and its symbolism invites us to see it as a symbol of transformation, wisdom, and the divine. Thanks for joining me on this journey into the mysteries of Genesis. If you have any thoughts on the serpent's role, please share them in the comments below. And if you want to explore more intriguing biblical explorations, be sure to check out my other videos.